Well, Broncos country, what's up? How you all feeling? I know I'm still recovering from the emotional roller coaster that was the Eagles-Broncos game on Sunday. But wow, what a game. Wow, what a finish. How good are we feeling right now? There's all kinds of other really cool things to talk about. The Broncos are already in London, getting ready for their matchup this weekend, and we have Nuggets basketball and Colorado Avalanche hockey back as well. There's just so much to talk about. I'm so pumped to be on here with you guys tonight. Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. Why don't we just go ahead and get right to it?
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Denver pride in every view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins, analyzing the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
What's up, Broncos country? And how you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to the post-Broncos over Eagles victory episode of Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. Oh, I'm so excited to be with you guys here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jay. I am
one of those.
Jay, the Mile High Viking, and with me, as always, my cousin, my childhood best friend, and my co-host here on Nothing Rhymes, Jay, the Dreamweaver Weaver. What's up, cuz? How you doing, man?
Oh, doing fantastic. Riding high off of some great vibes off of the NFL, man. Not only did the Broncos have a statement victory, but we got a epic meltdown out of the Kansas City Chiefs last night. We got a loss for the Chargers, a loss for the Raiders. And breaking out the good wine tonight, we've got opening night, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait for hockey back. Oh my gosh, we'll talk about it, but it's a glorious night, man. It's a holiday in my house.
Oh, absolutely. Who you rocking tonight? Who's on the sweater?
So I got the McKinnon. You know, you go with the best player in the world, obviously. No big deal.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with going with the second best, you know.
I mean, hey, literally, you can make arguments. Like, I know everybody loves McJesus, but like McCarr is a top 5 player. Everyone would agree. So
look, you got I have my McKinnon sitting right over there right now, but I figured you'd be wearing McKinnon tonight, so I decided to rock the McCarr. So I gave you first dibs on this one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You betcha.
But man, what a time to be a Denver sports fan. What a time to be a Broncos fan. I mean, the title of tonight's episode is very simple. Statement made.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what that game was. Look, it wasn't always pretty. 3 quarters sucked. We talked about it post-game on Sunday. The first 3 quarters of the game, they sucked. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
But Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, not just the offense, not just the defense, both, all of them, showed up, showed out when it mattered the most, and they came back, scoring 18 unanswered points in the 4th quarter to beat the reigning champions in their home stadium, who were undefeated. I mean, it's unbelievable. It was such an incredible feeling. I am still riding that high, Jay.
I mean, one of the most hostile environments in the NFL. I have been reading people's experiences, Bronco fans, of going to Philadelphia and sitting in that stadium to watch a game, and especially a game in which the Eagles had a meltdown. Those fans suck. Like, that is not a fun environment to be around. Everybody already knew this. You know, they boo Santa Claus in Philly. But, like, it is... It is incredible to be able to beat that team in Philly. It'd be a big deal to beat that team in Denver, honestly, if we just flip fields.
Anywhere. Now, granted, they have not looked the best. The more that I've been digesting some factoids and stats about both teams, but I've been watching a lot of national media because over the last few days, because I've been wanting to hear what was being said about the game.
Sure.
And it's been a healthy mix of praise for the Broncos and what did the Eagles do wrong kind of talk. The majority of it, honestly, being how did the Eagles drop the ball? And I'm like, how about you give some credit where credit's due? But aside from all that, the Eagles haven't looked good this season comparatively to last year, and they don't look great for being a defending Super Bowl champion. Let's just be honest. They have been they've been outpaced in yardage in every single game this season.
Yeah.
And how many of their games, just like the two that we lost, did they have to, had to come on miraculous recoveries or a miraculous moment, a blocked field goal, 2 blocked punts, things like that. That is how they've stayed alive. That is how they remained undefeated. It was exactly like the Kansas City Chiefs.
I was just going to say that. And
look what happened to them. They got all the way to the Super Bowl and imploded.
Well, and you quickly see the pendulum swing back the other way of if you're going to win those small margin games a year ago, maybe that's, the win's not going to carry you that extra half yard this year. And you see where Kansas City's at. You see where Philadelphia's at. It is wild to see the mock-up of the playoff picture right now with the Indianapolis, the number 1 seed in the AFC. What the heck, man?
Right, we're sitting pretty at number 6 right now.
Yeah, we played the Steelers, I believe.
Yeah,
just weird, man. What a weird state of affairs we are here in the NFL right now.
It's wild and crazy, and we get wild and crazy here on the Nothing Rhymes Orange and Blue podcast. So if this is your first time watching, or you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Make sure you subscribe to the Orange and Blue Network on YouTube. Why? Because we are less than 60 subscribers away from giving away a free, authentic Orange Bo Nix jersey. Ooh. So what you got to do is subscribe, and when we hit that magic 539, which was Peyton Manning's all-time passing touchdown record, we are giving one subscriber a free jersey. Oh, my God. Subscribe, and you have a chance to win a jersey, and those aren't cheap. I know you know that, Broncos country, so make sure you do it. Also, make sure you follow us on X and on Facebook, and you can catch the audio version of all of our podcasts wherever you listen to your favorites. So make sure you go check us out there. Also, do make sure you ding that little notification bell because we've got a lot of awesome shows right here on this network. Boom! We got Orange and Blue Blitz Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays in the morning. We got Broncos Bros on Mondays. We got us on Tuesday nights, the Nothing Rhymes Orange and Blue podcast. Doc and JT hold down all Mile High Sports on Wednesdays in the afternoon. Broncos Talk goes live on Wednesdays in the evening. For the Spanish speakers, we have Viva Los Broncos entirely in Spanish on Fridays. We also have the Fresh Squeeze Breaking News podcast and the Get Bucked Game Day show and the Buck Your Feelings post-game show every single game day. You don't want to miss out on any of those, guys, so make sure that you go ahead and do that. We also got to show a quick little bit of love to the sponsor of tonight's show, and that is Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. You can find the link in the bio below, dubby.gg. Jump on over to Dubby. Get yourself a dub. Dubby is delicious stuff. Comes in a multitude of amazing flavors. Has enough caffeine to kick you in the butt and get your day started and keep your butt going all the way through your day without getting the jitters or the crash later. Jay and I swear by this stuff. We both drink it, we both use it, and we both know the benefits that come from it. You don't get the jitters or the crash later because Dubby has no sugar. It also has no calories or maltodextrin or fillers or artificial colors. It's formulated with nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and nootropics, including their patented neurofactor, which keeps you sharp throughout your day. And the caffeine that's in Dubby is derived directly from the coffee fruit. I promise you it will be your mouth's favorite energy drink. All right, guys, make sure you go check that out. Get yourself the dub. I mean, look at this. There's even a flavor now that tastes like s'mores that you mix with milk. I haven't gotten it yet, but I can't wait. Go on over, get yourself the dub, and make it even sweeter by punching in code OBN10. That's our code. Punch in code Orange and Blue Network, OBN10. Gets you 10% off your order at checkout. So, guys, thank you for bearing with me as I get through that little bit there. And now it's time to talk Denver sports, talk Broncos, talk it all, baby. Let's go. We got some commenters in the chat already. We got the guy who we call State Farm, Gary Neighbors, because like a good neighbors, State Farm is there. Go Broncos country, he says. Our good friend with the Orange Crush sign, Ray Hass, saying, good evening, Johnny and Jay. What's up, Ray? We got our buddy and the host of the game day segment, Get Shiped, Shy Vargas, saying, how about them Broncos? Love it, buddy. Our good friend D-Rock saying, sup, guys, and chat. What's up, D-Rock, with his picture of his Pitbull Blue there. We love D-Rock. He's one of our OGs. And he says, Dubby is nice.
You know, that s'mores has a lot of different applications, I feel like. I'm just thinking out loud. The dude would like that, I think, in a White Russian. Just a little dubby, adult after hours mixture. Oh, you betcha.
Great Big Lebowski reference there, cuz. I love it.
Yeah.
No, I had to say it noise that way because one of my favorite shows, and it kills me that it got canceled, is Tacoma FD. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
With the Broken Lizard guys.
Yes,
yep.
The guys from Broken Lizard. I mean, God, when they say the words nice, they say noise. When they say soft, they say it's soft. Oh, that is soft. Yeah. And even though it's supposed to take place in in Tacoma, Washington, they're all they say these words like they're all the way up in Philly. It's soft. It's so soft. It's nice. And so I mean, I saw that and I had to read it like the guys on that show. I missed that show and I'm so sad it was canceled. I'm kind of hoping Netflix picks it up or something.
Yeah, or they just need a new movie. It's been a hot second since we've had a new installment of those guys.
I agree, but man, Tacoma FD was so good, and if they would just get another season, they left it on a cliffhanger. It was only canceled because True TV decided they wanted to get away from scripted shows. And so, I mean, it's like, come on, Netflix, Prime, somebody grab hold of this because it's comedy gold.
Sounds like an angry letter is needed to be written, Johnny.
Let's do it. Petition right now. We'll get right on it. We got Synergy Media saying, show Cat. No, I don't have Cat.
I do have Cat. I do have Cat now.
You have Cat now?
Yeah, I don't think you know that, but yes, the whole world.
I did not know my cousin has Cat.
Yeah, this is first Cat. This is first experience on Petville on my side of life here, man. I've never had a pet before.
Isn't sister allergic to cat?
No, she has like 3 cats. She's a cat lady.
She used to be allergic when we were kids.
Yep. But yes, I have a male tabby orange cat named Bucky.
Bucky, I love it.
Yeah. Bucky the cat. He's a good boy.
I does not has cat. I has dogs.
Yeah, there you go.
I has 6 dogs.
You have 6 dogs? Good Lord, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, 3 of them we already had, and then unfortunately, when my in-laws passed away, we inherited 3 more. It just happened that way. Oh. And God bless my in-laws. I miss them. I love them so much. I actually had one of those good relationships with my in-laws, and my wife refused to rehome them because they were a connection. So
that makes sense.
We have 6 dogs, and I'm pretty sure with Synergy Media's the cat Synergy Media is asking me to show, I also don't have that cat either. So,
that is true.
No cat.
just close your eyes and pretend with all our facial hair on this show. We've got plenty of facial hair up top here. Meow, meow.
Meow, meow. All right, it's time to talk some Denver sports. We've had a little bit of fun, and that's what we do on this show, guys. It's what makes us different. We talk about, of course, we talk about Broncos, and of course, we talk about our other favorite sports, but at the same time, we are just real people. We are real life first cousins who are also best friends, and so we just have a great time just talking about anything and everything as well. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I promise you'll enjoy it too. But now we can move on. We can get to what everybody's here to talk about, and that is the freaking Denver Broncos. So, Jay, how high are you still riding on that win? Because I'm going to tell you, man, all I have not watched a single thing except for the Chiefs get their ass kicked last night, and the Nuggets, play some preseason ball up there in Vancouver, or against Vancouver. My apologies. No, it was in Vancouver.
Oh, it's in Vancouver, yeah.
It's Toronto, but it was against Toronto. Kind of weird. The Canada series. Just call it preseason. That's what it is. Anyway, besides that, I have watched nothing but everything having to do with the Broncos for the last 2 days. So how are you feeling after that win?
Dude, I'm not going to lie. When they badmouth us, it's easy to say I don't care and it doesn't matter to me. But when we do something massive and we deserve to get recognized, I do like watching the national media. And the national media has gushed over us. We're talking, FS1, ESPN, like the big players of media. They have all had brilliant things to say. We've seen the Randy Marsh, meme going around of, the nuts in the wheelbarrow.
The nuts in the wheelbarrow, yeah.
Sean Payton just absolutely rocking it, man. It's been good. It's been all positive, and power rankings today, we're a top 10 team in the NFL, pretty unanimously. So, man, things are good. The vibes are great. I couldn't be happier as a Bronco fan right now. And we have little to no injuries with this impact as well. But we'll get to that. The little. We do have some, but
I mean, they're there. They're there, but
mostly unscathed.
Mostly, yes. And here's the thing. D-Rock says the national media only talks about the Eagles, not the Broncos' stellar win. I've heard both.
Yeah.
Usually what it comes down to, and every show that I've watched, and I mean everyone, I've watched everything from First Take to Wake Up to Good Morning Football and Shannon Sharp and
the Club Shay with Chad Johnson.
I've watched everything, and it's a bit of a mix of both. Generally speaking, the first thing, it starts out with somebody being like, how did the Eagles drop this and what, no. But then you'll get like one of their co-hosts being like, well, I can respect that, but how about we show some respect to the Denver Broncos as well? Like, look what they did, So you're hearing a bit of both, but I am hearing some people that I never would have expected saying like the Broncos might be legit or the Broncos are legit. I think we got the closest thing we will ever get to a compliment from Nick Wright himself on the Colin Cowherd podcast. I believe it was today's episode, where he came on. He usually does every Tuesday with Colin Cowherd. They have, I like Colin Cowherd, can't stand Nick Wright. But of course they're buds. And Nick Wright himself, who never ever has a nice thing to say about anything Denver Broncos or anybody who plays or works for the team, actually said if the Broncos can continue to get up to, and of course I'm paraphrasing somewhat here because I don't have it written down verbatim, but he said if the Broncos can get 80% of what Bo Nix gave them in the fourth quarter of that game, the Broncos are going to be a truly dangerous team, and I will admit that I was wrong about them. He did say, I doubt it. He did throw that in there because he's Nick Wright and he has to have that last word. But that is the closest we've ever seen to a Nick Wright compliment on the Denver Broncos.
And I kind of feel like there's more. It's always easy from a media standpoint, especially big media, to focus in on the offense because that's the sexy thing of superstars scoring touchdowns and whatnot. But like for the true ball knower in the trenches football fans, this is one of the most beautiful defenses to watch on a week-on, week-off basis that is showing you every single week that like we can compete against different types of offenses. like, this is a very unique offense we just went against in Philadelphia, and we looked different in execution defensively, but at the end of the day, it still came true of, being a dominant defense, even against this version of an offense.
What we saw was exactly what the Broncos' identity all season has been for 3 quarters, which was bend, don't break. Right? What we saw that has been the Broncos' defensive identity, all season long so far, has been bend, don't break, but then show up at the in the clutch moments. So, and what did they do? 3 quarters. They bent. They didn't break. I mean, and really, you have to admit that, because the Eagles only scored on 2 big plays.
Yep.
Like, they didn't really march a bunch down the field. It was 2 big plays that resulted in their scores. If you took those 2 big ones away, they weren't doing that much.
Barkley and Smith.
Good job. Yeah. Our defense was doing a great job. But then the 4th quarter came, and not only did we, not bend at that point, they showed up clutch, and they shut them the F down while our offense woke the hell up. And I mean, listen to this. I've got some facts here, dude. I got to read these because
spill your facts.
I found these on Twitter, and I had to look them up to confirm, and they're accurate. And I only found them because of our good friend Ben over at Sports Talk Denver. That's a dear friend of mine, and he talked about these on his show today, and I was like, no, that can't be right. That can't be right. And so I went and looked, and I was like, holy crap, that's right. So we're on the defense first, right? We're talking defense. Nick Bonito. This is just a Nick Bonito fact, but it's so freaking cool. Nick Bonito ranks through week 5 in the NFL, okay? He ranks first in sacks with 7. It says 7. It was 7.5. He's at 7.5 sacks, okay? First in the NFL in overall pressures at 31. He's also second in the NFL in quick pressures at 14. Now, here's what makes these facts ridiculously cool. He is currently tied for 25th in the NFL in pass rush snaps. So he is in the bottom tier of actual snaps pass rushing, and yet he leads the NFL in pass rushing and in sacks.
That's an incredible win rate, a success rate of, reps versus production. That's bonkers, man.
Yes. Well, I mean, did you hear what Dave Logan said to Benny Fowler about Nick Bonito? Not this week, but last week.
No, I've yet to catch that show, but that show looks amazing, obviously, as a new DNVR
it's awesome.
show.
Benny and Logan together are awesome, man. I love it. But last week, they did their show on Monday following the win. But the week before, after we won on Tuesday, after we beat the Bengals, they sat down. And one of the things that Dave Logan said about Nick Bonito, he said it's rare to see a pass rusher who has at least once a game, a move where the tackle doesn't even get a hand on them.
Yeah,
and Nick Bonito does it at least once a game.
The only reason it's very eerie. So follow me on this comparison. It is different for us as a fan base to call this out because we got the luxury of watching prime Von Miller, and seeing what he could do as an edge position. We've similarly looked at PS2 and Champ Bailey correlation of we understand what it means to have a shutdown corner. We've seen it before, and we're a rare franchise example that gets to say that. But man, Nick Bonito has a chance to be better than Von Miller, at least from what I've been seeing, because he can set the edge a lot better than Von did.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing about Nick Bonito,
more versatile.
Right now,
as it's trending,
the all-time single season sack record franchise record held by Von Miller is 18.5 sacks in one season. If Nick Bonito continues the trend he's on right now, because he is at 7.5 sacks in 5 games, he is on par to have 24 sacks by season end. Not the playoffs, not the postseason. In the season, 24 sacks by the end of the season, if he continues his trend. I'm not, saying that that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm just saying he is being that dominant. He is that good. He is top currently by Vegas odds makers. He is top 3 to be defensive player of the year right now.
And he's playing fantastic versatily as well. You know, we saw the one play this last game where VJ schemed him up to go into coverage and drop out.
It was brilliant.
Yep.
And then brought the safety blitz.
Yep. Man, I just the things that you can do with a skill set like that. He seems like he's rounding his game out as well, and it just, you know, the game seems slower for him than everybody else. And
yes.
Man, it's so nice to have that kind of weapon on defense. It allows you to do so many other things, let alone a shutdown corner. That's the same premise of that unlocks so many different play combinations and coverages.
Having
defense.
A shutdown edge and a shutdown corner sets this defense up, and a premier. I mean, look at Talanoa Hufanga.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
he's got to be first team All Pro by the end of the year. Yeah, so
he's floating everywhere.
Yes, he is. If you have a first team All Pro safety, you have a first team All Pro pass rusher, and you have a first team All Pro cornerback, all in the same defense, all three levels are covered, dude. We are this defense is made in the shade. We have a Raiders fan who's popped in to talk to us. Mr. Damian Cole says, so I'm a Raiders fan first and a Broncos fan second. I know, it's weird. Grew up in Oakland and have lived in Denver for 15 years now. And honestly, the Broncos right now are just fun to watch. He says, the Raiders break my heart every week. The Broncos at least make me enjoy football on Sundays.
Yep.
I get it, buddy. I get it. I have, here's the thing. You see me in my Avs gear. I have two hockey teams because I grew up an Avalanche fan and I will always be Avalanche first, but I live in Nashville and I go to a lot of Nashville Predators games. So I have a lot of fun with those too. So I get that. I can't do it with football, but I can do it with hockey.
and I don't, maybe I'm a new age fan and maybe we're not old enough to truly understand the rivalry of the Raiders and Broncos, but I still consider the Chiefs a bigger rival personally, compared to the Raiders.
Were we both raised by the same grandfather?
I know, and it's recency bias because the Chiefs have only been good, truly in a franchise sense, for the Patrick Mahomes era, basically. Alex Smith, whatever, but other than that, it's
10 years.
They've sucked. I got no problem with the Raiders.
That's got to be recency bias for you because I will always be a bona fide Raider hater. Now, no offense to you, Damian Cole, bro, but that is just how I was raised. That is what I know. And it's different. It's a little different now that they're in Vegas because the fan base for the Raiders just isn't what it was when they were in the black hole.
Yeah,
but it will always be, to me, the more intense rivalry, and I think eventually it'll get back there. It's just right now the Kansas City Chiefs are everybody's worst enemy. So it's that whole the enemy of my enemy is my kind of friend.
Yeah, correct.
D-Rock popping in saying, dude, the Eagles have a good defense, and the Broncos rose above them and dominated with a mile-high salute. There you go, my friend.
For 15 minutes of the game, you are correct, D-Rock.
Hey, you know what? Ultimately, how many times have we said it, Jay? I mean, I feel like I have to push the button now. I feel like I
don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Dub's a dub. You're right.
I don't give a crap at this point that I honestly don't. I honestly don't give a crap that the first three quarters the Broncos struggled to find their footing because once they found their footing, they got the dub, man.
Yeah.
They got it over the best team in the NFL, or possibly one of the best teams in the NFL, who the currently reigning champs. I don't care that the first three quarters looked like ass. After that, we won, dude, and that's all that matters to me.
It's true. I'm very excited to have a game similar to last year's game against the Falcons, where we stood up in a game and absolutely took it to a team. I know we can say that about Cincinnati, but Cincinnati was a JV game that night. That was not even a competitive game.
I had a blast in the stands that night, cuz.
I'm sure. I mean, why wouldn't you? It was a preseason game. We dominated, but I want a game with expectations for us to go in and flex our muscles and dominate a game. And we have some opportunities moving up. We have some opportunities coming up, I feel like, to do that.
But wait, there's more.
It's true.
So, I mean, and I'm with you, and I feel like that's this week against the Jets in London. They suck.
They do suck. They're bad.
Like you can't say it's because they're starting quarterback. Like with the Bengals, you can say that part of it's that their defense sucks, and the other part of it is that they don't have Joe Burrow right now. That's a big deal because there is a marked, like statistically, everything else, there is a marked drop off since Jake Browning took over, while Burrow is out. So, but when you go up against these Jets, they're the same squad they've been all season. They just suck.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait for this one. I'm excited about it. And let's see here. We got some more comments we haven't hit yet. Another one from Damian Cole. Bo Nix is in the perfect situation. A great team around him to learn and grow, and with a Hall of Fame coach to grow with. I wish so bad that the Raiders took Bo Nix over Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong, but Brock Bowers is like so good, though. I mean, that's a pretty hell of a consolation prize.
It is a good consolation prize. Here's the thing. When the Raiders do get it figured out, and they will, every team eventually does, except unless your name is Cleveland Browns. Every team eventually gets it figured out. And when the Raiders do, Brock Bowers will be one hell of a weapon to have for that quarterback. It's just
my 2 cents of the Raiders situation right now is like they are in the trap of what we used to do, is trying to do Band-Aid veteran quarterbacks that are just, reruns of the same old. Like Geno Smith was never going to do anything. Like
we did it too. We did it too. Flacco, Keenum, freaking Bridgewater. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on.
And Johnny, let's get a real squirrel moment here going right now, because another person on that list was the Mark Sanchez, and I
forgot about him.
He's had a rough week. Rough week.
What happened? I haven't read everything about that. I just know he was stabbed.
So he basically body slammed a truck driver that I guess was a Uber Eats person, is what I've read, and got into this big confrontation. And then the truck driver started stabbing him, like in self-defense, because Mark Sanchez was drunk and disorderly and being a complete, a-hole. What a crazy situation, man.
I mean, wow. I mean, what a butt fumble of a situation.
I saw man, butt fumble as a nickname is not going to go over well in prison.
It's true. Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love it. Now you get the button. Now you get the button, buddy. Where did it go? Damn it. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, no.
The belly of. But, dude, I couldn't resist. As we're going over that list, again, of veteran Band-Aids, like the Raiders have right now. Mark Sanchez was on the list.
Yeah.
Was on the carousel. Carousel.
That's true. Fanatic Dak, host of Broncos Bros on Monday night here on the Orange and Blue Network, says, "What's up, Orange and Blue crew? Are you Phillying yourselves after that big W? Not anymore, dude. I did a little bit too much of that on the first night. Now I need to recover." I'm just kidding. That's that's dirty.
As a Midwesterner, I can only Philly so much, so I Phillied my Philly share. I'm Phillied out now.
Yeah. No. Oh God. And so I mean, the Eagles game. What a moment, man. I got another fun fact for you here, because one thing that a lot of people are talking about is Bo Nix's struggles in the first quarter. Okay. Now I want to point out that in the fourth quarter, Bo Nix went 9 for 10 for 124 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 scoring drives. 3 for 3 on scoring drives, and ultimately ended the game with an 89 passer rating.
Yep.
Okay. Which, given how his struggles in the first half, an 89 passer rating by the end of it all is nothing to scoff at. Nothing to scoff at that point. But here's the cool facts, right? Again, showing how Bo Nix outdid Jalen Hurts in this game, in my opinion. Yeah. Eagles this season did not allow us, before the Broncos, before Bo Nix, the Eagles did not allow a quarterback passer rating above 85. Bo Nix got 89 in this game. Before the Eagles met the Broncos this last Sunday, they did not allow a quarterback to throw for over 200 yards with 0 interceptions. Bo Nix threw for over 280. Okay? Wow. They did not allow a quarterback to average over 6 yards an attempt with a completion rate above 60%. Bo Nix did that. So, in every way, all the things that the Eagles had been preventing all the other teams they faced this season so far, including Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix accomplished against the Eagles.
And,
down about Bo.
That goes with what D-Rock was saying of, like, we went up against a top-tier defense, and we looked very, competent and dominant at times, and he's right. Those are really good stats for Philadelphia on average that, Bo shattered.
Yes.
We're streak breakers. That's what Sean Payton is. He's a streak breaker. Like, he has broken all of the bad vibes and streaks that we have accumulated here in the Wild's time. That's a big deal. So maybe, maybe the offense's struggles or woes in the first 3 quarters of the game were a little overstated, but because
accurate.
You kind of also have to think about, like, at times, I wouldn't necessarily say it's Bo that is the reason why the offense struggled. It was a lot of a play calling type of thing, and just the general approach.
And a lot of Bo's passes were right on the money and just dropped. We had a lot of drop issues. There was that boot route. There was that boot route that got dropped by R.J. Harvey. There was that one up
Sutton. Sutton had a very early drop.
Yep, that honestly would have changed the game right then if it had happened then. He caught it, and then there was drop passes by Troy Franklin. Even Trent Sherfield missed one. There was some drop passes, and it wasn't because Bo misfired. Now I will say this on at least one of the screens that did not go our way, where it was an incomplete pass. Bo threw too damn hard. He's going to have to clean up he's going to have to figure out the moments to let it be a cannon, and then the moments to let that ball sail.
Well, that was the play against Cincinnati where Harvey was in the flat going upfield and Bo just rocketed in and didn't really give Harvey a chance at that ball, but that would have been an easy touchdown for Harvey.
Now, granted, Elway used to do the same thing. In fact, if you remember, there have been interviews with guys like Rod Smith and
breaking fingers, right?
Yeah, almost breaking fingers, dudes wearing extra padding in their gloves because he would hit their hands so hard it hurt.
There's a reason he was a Yankee.
It's possible to get over that, and I think Bo can. It's just a matter of doing it. But still, those stats alone for me just show how good he really is. And again, it's still the beginning of the season. We're 5 games in, so we're a quarter of the way through, a little over, So it's not ideal. We're about a third of the way, give or take a little, right? A third away, almost. And we're still kind of figuring a few things out. But we definitely saw one thing. We definitely saw in this game was Sean Payton's stamp on every single thing that happened. Like you said, just wheeling around those nuts in the wheelbarrow, man. The balls on that dude. And a lot of people are like, hey, it's not that ballsy. I would have done the same thing. I heard several people say that in national media this week. And I'm like, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Most anybody would go for that extra point and tie it up and then just pray that they got another chance to score. Sean Payton said, screw that. We're going for it, and we're going to get it because I've seen them pull this play in practice 1,000 times, and I know – and he said it. He literally said it in his post-game presser. I knew Troy Franklin would be open and that Bo would get him the ball. I knew it.
Well, and then there's the also aspect of why he's been ballsy in an overall sense, specifically on 4th down and going for it, is because you got the defense, man. You have all the confidence in the world that no matter what time is on, we can get some stops. Like our defense will come in and get our offense the ball again and at least give more opportunities.
I mean, and there was a lot because there was 7 minutes. There was 7 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game when he pulled that stunt.
Yep. I mean, you look over at VJ and say, you know, man, you've given up 2 big plays, and that's accumulated to 14 of their points. So, man, when you have the defense you can be ballsy on the offensive end and take risks and take chances.
To the wall, baby, balls to the wall, and he did, and he did, and he kept pulling things out of his hat. And I mean, like truly, that moment, the moment that the game shifted in our favor was after, I believe it was after Bo's first intentional grounding when he got called, it got called on him, and they backed him up 5 yards. It was 3rd and 15, and Sean Payton has the wherewithal to send Cortland Sutton across the middle, and Bo lands a laser right into Court's arms, perfect pickup, and Court does that little spin around and gets probably 10 more yards after catch. That changed the momentum of the game. That was the moment. And again, he could have run it. And most teams at that moment would have run the ball. With as much time as was left at 3rd and 15, they probably would have run it, tried to get a couple more, That's what generally happens in that moment. Sean's like, our run game was actually cooking pretty well at that point. Both RJ Harvey, who was getting, 4 or 5 a carry maybe at that moment. I think ultimately he averaged 4 or 3. I think he averaged 3. And J.K. Dobbins ultimately averaged 4 only because there was a few plays where they just used him to waste clock and it cut down on his average. But, at that point, the run game had actually started to really take off. And they could have just handed it off and set it up. And instead, Sean's like, no, we're going to throw it right there. Cortland Sutton, right over the middle. I trust him. Let's go.
He does have a good, propensity to, go against the grain of even what he has been doing. Like he's an overthinker, man. Like he's gonna do something crazy every once in a while just to keep people honest. And he's a mad scientist when it comes to play calling. And, there's some recipes that don't work out. But, man, when it does, it is glorious when he chooses the right instance to use that mad science. That's the thing, is like it's got to be strategic in when you implement a play like that to lift your team up. And he's pushing the right buttons, at least for right now. I will give him credit for that. So it's the fourth quarters and at the end of games have been just so high and low, man. We've lost games in the last play. We've won games in the fourth. Like, it's just been nuts. I want to complete 4 quarters, versus a legitimate team coming. I know it's going to come, but like,
I declare
so hot and cold.
I mean, hey, we're going to get there. And the fact is, we're going to have haters. We always are. We're the Broncos.
Yep.
We're the Broncos. We've always been the underdog. We have always been the one overlooked.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
But at the same time, let the haters hate.
Well, and we have a character at head coach like Sean Payton that is very polarizing, and people hate him and people love him. The league does not love him,
and doesn't give 2 shits what anybody thinks about him.
100%.
Couldn't give a damn.
And we have a very adversarial quarterback, even though the national media doesn't really know him quite yet. Like, he doesn't get the publicity of a Josh Allen or, top tier quarterbacks in the league quite yet. But like, once they do, and I think Bo is in the camera more, people will understand like how edgy he is as well.
Hey,
John
how many top tier quarterbacks lost this week? I mean, seriously, Drake May took down the Bills. Wow.
That quarterback class, man, is going to be crazy. Penix, Williams, Jaden Daniels, man, it's going to be nuts. JJ McCarthy, so many in that class that are going to be legit starters for a long time, I think.
I agree. D-Rock says, I would like to say our offense is no scrubs. I don't want no scrubs. Anyway, we are averaging 20-plus points a game. That's awesome. And then he says, gotta go, but good night, fellas in chat. Good night, D-Rock. We love you, brother.
D-Rock.
But yeah, no, I couldn't agree more about this class. Oh, sorry, one more, and then we'll continue. Damian Cole also bouncing out, says, Raider Nation Broncos Damian out. That's a weird thing to put together. Raider Nation Broncos Damian. Love it, though. Have a good night, Damian. We'll catch you on the flip.
Can I hit one more? Can I hit one more, Johnny, here?
Oh, please do. Go for it.
Fanatic giving me some love. I've been putting up some 160 burgers in fantasy football this year in the Bros League. If you were a part of the Bros League, man, but I did have a matchup with Dak this week, and I did beat the pants off him. So it's been right.
I got to carefully spank Dr. Nick Manning this week.
Hey, good for you, because he destroyed me last weekend. So thank you.
Hey, you can thank what's his name? Oh gosh,
the shows.
Yeah,
we should do that one year. We should do fantasy teams of each show. The show gets one team.
Who's the running back from the Rams? What's his name?
Kyren Williams.
Yeah, I can thank Kyren Williams because he was projected only 15 points. He got me 31.
There you go.
And then Trevor Lawrence sealed the deal last night for me.
Oh, my gosh, dude. The Jaguars might be like my second favorite team in the league. I enjoy watching them a lot.
They're fun. They're crazy, dude. Like they're so all over the place. You never know what you're gonna get. I see the cat. It walked behind you. I saw the cat. Anyway. Jay, your pussy's showing. Anyway.
Speaking of Jaguars.
But no, did you see freaking Perna today on God, what is it? Not the Broncos. Not what's his show? It's that's sports. And his That's Good Sports show today, and he was talking about that touchdown run by Trevor Lawrence, where he got stepped on and fell down twice before getting up, breaking a tackle, and leaping into the end zone. He's like, we're gonna call this the Chumbawamba play forever, because he'd get knocked down, but he'd get up again, even down. I was like, dude, that's funny. But anyway, what a crazy game that was. But anyway, kind of moving on, we'll get ready to talk about the Jets game and everything. But man, still flying high on this Eagles victory.
We deserve it,
I should say, and I think we definitely do deserve it. And and all the love in the world, so many dudes, especially VJ, Sean Payton, they called one hell of a game, and
it did.
It was phenomenal. So. I think it's time now to kind of roll on towards the future. Let's look forward. Let's head off to jolly old London, shall we?
Might as well. Team Crumpets.
A couple things, of course. We had two players that did not travel to London with the team right after the game. Which, by the way, I do want to say we may have talked about it a bit during the post-game show. I love the fact that the team, rather than flying back to Denver and then flying all the way to London, decided, no, screw that. We're not going to let jet lag be an excuse for us next Sunday. Right as soon as the Eagles game was over, hug your wife, kids, tell them you love them. You're going to go shower, and then you're getting on the plane and flying straight to London, and you can sleep on the plane. I love that fact.
I was just talking to my buddy Jordan about this because he's a big Viking fan, and the Vikings just had 2 back-to-back games overseas. And when they went into, I think it was Ireland to begin with, they went on like Friday night and got in Saturday morning to play their game on Sunday to begin that. And I thought that was nuts. Yeah, I agree. And I said, like, well, we're like leaving the next week, so like we've got like a week basically to sit in it.
Shoot, we get to get there. They got there, and literally started doing strength and conditioning on Monday. Then they were going to have, I think, Tuesday today off. That's the only time that they're going to be allowed to go out and sightsee in London, which I hope they have a good time because I loved London when I was there. But then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's practice, practice, practice. And then Saturday, conditioning, prep, and then Sunday game. And so, I love that the Broncos did it this way. It's smart. No jet lag. I mean, you're going to be jet lagged. They're going to be jet lagged when they get there. I've been London jet lagged. It is a nightmare. But but they're going to have time to rest up a little bit and get pushed past that so that they are as fresh as possible when they take on New York on Sunday. Because God forbid we let the New York Jets get their first win of the season this Sunday because we're still tired from the flight.
Well, and riding the high of a huge win, there is something. I mean, we talk about trap games, and aside from the London game, this might be a candidate of just a little hangover from a massive win, even if it was in Denver or if it was in New York. We did not expect to beat Philadelphia. No one had that on their schedule preseason.
Hey, so, Sean Payton and the boys believed it though. Before they went there.
But I mean, nobody thought about the aspect of this being a trap game. I thought everybody thought, against the Jets, this should be a pretty easy victory. Everyone had this as a dub. So it might be a closer game than we think. I don't want to, but
dude, the Jets. I've watched every film from them this season. They're awful. Okay, I think a Pee Wee football team could beat the Jets right now.
Justin Fields can do some crazy things at times.
All right, fine. A high school football team, fair? No, they're not good, man. They're just not good.
Not.
There is no chemistry between Justin Fields and any of his guys on that field. They can throw and they can make some catches, but there is no chemistry between him and Garrett Wilson or any of those guys.
I guess the only thing I'll say to that is that we also said the same thing about Tennessee, and even though it was week 1, and I'll give them that, just first game jitters and whatnot, but we've seen us play to competition already this season. And I just don't want to see that in making a game out of what shouldn't be a game.
Okay. I will say this, though. And another Dave Logan quote. This is from today, or from yesterday, rather, when he was sitting down talking with Benny Fowler. He said, you can, he hadn't even thought about the fact that this is probably the Broncos' biggest victory since Super Bowl 50 until someone texted that to him. And then he thought about it. And then he said to himself, you cannot underestimate the confidence that a win like this instills in a team. He's like, with a win like this, the Broncos could go on to win every single game they've got left. Because it literally just infused them with so much confidence.
Well, because you could look at every other game and say, well, we already beat Philadelphia. Why can't we beat this team? There's
Sean Payton asked them that in the locker room during Club Dub, or after the game when it was so smoky in there that the camera
so smoky.
Anything. But he asked them, "Who are you afraid of now?" And the guys all said, "Nobody."
Well,
and that's right.
Who else is there that you would be more afraid of than Philadelphia? There's no one.
Maybe the Bills, but they can't stop the run, and we have a run game now.
Yeah, I'm not that afraid of the Bills right now. They look pretty human.
They really do. They can't stop the run to save their lives, cuz.
That's true. Which is weird for them because that's kind of their MO in the playoffs and in the winter months.
Through week 5 now, we've got J.K. Dobbins, who is still ranked top 5 in rushing in the NFL. So I'm not scared of the Bills as I once was. And I'm definitely not as scared of the Chiefs as I once was. I mean, they're starting to turn things around a bit. And they will get back Rashee Rice. They'll get back one of their convicts.
It's only a matter of time. He'll go back in the slammer.
Once again, we saw, we've seen what this defense can do against some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. The only thing that they have on us right now is speed.
True. Just real quick kickback, little callback here. We have got to lead the league in hotboxing locker rooms post game.
I mean, for real.
So many victory locker room videos that I have seen so far this year where you can't even see players in the background. It's so damn smoky.
It's so damn smoky in there. And like, I see some of the funniest memes about it being like, those aren't fog machines.
No,
I saw one meme. Have you seen the movie Neighbors with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen? Okay, well, there's a whole scene where they hotbox a house. They call it a hot house. And they literally have like burn barrels, and they're just sitting there throwing in like entire bales of weed, and just letting it burn and fill the house with smoke. And like I saw one of the funniest memes I saw after this last Sunday's Club Dub was the pictures of McLovin. He's in it. Him and there's a bunch of funny dudes in that movie. It was Zac Efron and him though throwing the bales of weed into the barrels, and it showed them, and then it showed Sean Payton and the guys standing there in the smoke, and I was just like, yes.
Well, the video of Sean Payton ripping a bong is hilarious, even though I don't think it's actually him. It's a doppelganger, looks exactly like him. But
oh yeah, dude, some of these AI things. I think I sent it out to the group chat yesterday. If AI wrote Sean Payton's post game press conference, did you watch it?
I did. That's pretty hilarious.
Good Lord. I mean, he was like, the AI was so unforgiving of the Eagles there. It was so bad, but it was so funny. I love that stuff. But anyway, again, back onto the Jets, Broncos, Jets. It'll be the game will kick off at 7:30 Mountain Time.
Yeah. Woof.
I believe. Yep. This weekend. Because it'll be a normal primetime game in London, but crazy for us. That means that our Get Bucked Game Day show will start at 6:30 Mountain Time this weekend.
Woof, dude, that is.
I know, but I will be bright-eyed. Bush, I will have drank some of my dubby. And I will be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, my face painted, my beard painted, and all my regalia ready to go at 6:30 in the morning.
See, back in the day, that would have been a classic keg and eggs situation. Not so much anymore, obviously, but my God, that's early. I don't even wake up that early normally.
Yeah. All right. So you got Bo Nix versus Justin Fields. We've already seen it once last season. The Steelers they were able to walk away with a win the last time that Bo Nix faced Justin Fields. However, it was second game of Bo Nix's professional career.
And Pittsburgh's defense was way better than anything the Jets will offer. Like,
absolutely.
In a comparative sense of Justin Fields matchups here.
They've got Sauce.
Yeah. They've
got Sauce Gardner, but that's all they've got.
Who is just an ultimate holder. Like, he's got yankage all around yanking on jerseys. For him to be in the same class as PS2 is laughable. It's just a joke.
Disgusting, and it's pathetic, to be honest.
Not in the same class at all.
No, they shouldn't even be breathed. Their names shouldn't even be breathed in the same breath.
Yep.
But I think the Broncos have got this one. I mean, I think this is going to be I'm not going to ever say cakewalk. I won't do it anymore. I've done it in the past. I'm not going to say it's a cakewalk. Because it is the NFL.
If PS2 can lock down Jamar Chase, do you think he's going to have a problem with Garrett Wilson? Probably not.
Hell no.
Probably not. So I'm not concerned. We just need to stop the run and have a spy on Fields every single play. Every play.
I will say this. Nobody has home field advantage. This is neutral territory. However, I will say I'm so annoyed that every single one of the international games the Broncos have played in the last 3 or 4 times, we're the away team.
Well, but honestly, I'd rather have that. You don't want to take away a home game on your schedule. I'd rather have a away game taken away with an international game.
I know, but my God, I would just love to see our home unis in front of an international crowd.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, that's it. That's all it is. I'd love to see the orange uni or the midnight blue uni out in front of an international crowd.
I still don't understand why we can't just not have a white jersey in a game, and you can have something that still contrasts, like if the Jets had a dark green or a black.
I mean, they're green, we're orange. It's not that hard.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it, trust me. Yep.
It's October, green and orange. Let's go. It's pumpkin season.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like that's a dumb rule in some certain situations that you have to have a traditional away, home version.
I think it's stupid all around. I don't understand why anybody has to wear white. I can understand it if both teams have similar colors, like if Broncos were facing the Bears or something like that, or, the Jets are facing the Eagles. I can see that need. But, like, I feel like I think it'd just be freaking cool if, as long as they're contrasting, every team could pick what uniform they wanted to wear for every game. That would be the greatest thing ever. But I digress. Justin Fields versus Bo Nix, Sauce Gardner versus Pat Surtain. It's going to be it will be an interesting game. The Jets suck. They're the only winless team in the NFL right now. They're also, by the way, I don't know if you've caught this fact, they're the only winless team, the first winless team through 5 games with 0 takeaways since like the 1947 Giants. You've got Sauce Gardner, and you're telling me you have 0 takeaways, no fumble recoveries, no interceptions through 5 games? Something's wrong there, man.
That's a, pretty stripped team. There's not a whole lot of, because I'm pretty sure CJ Mosley, the linebacker, is retired. And that's like the last big star other than Sauce Gardner I can recall
and
on
Garrett
the defense.
Wilson.
Well, no, I'm just talking about on defense.
The defense, true.
Yeah. It's a pretty, no-name crew overall. So
it's sad, man.
You're right that this is a game that we, regardless of where we are from a location standpoint, we should dominate this game. Like, they're an inferior opponent. If we are a legit team in this league, playoff team, this is the game you just smack them around. You don't play with your food.
We are on such a momentum roll right now. I mean, we destroyed the Bengals, which I understand, no Joe Burrow, but it's still an NFL team.
Well,
we made them look foolish.
It's similar. This is a similar game, and we did exactly what we needed to do in that Cincinnati game. But this is not prime time in Denver, where I think that's probably why we were firing pretty well.
It's prime time in London. But it's still funny. I'm just saying, we have this momentum. We have this roll that we're on. We have a wave that we're riding. We destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals. That built confidence. Then we walked into the reigning champs' house and made them lay an egg. And that gives us even more confidence. Now we get to go up in front of a neutral crowd in a place where there are tons of fans that rarely get to actually watch football and put on a show. And I think we're just going to keep on riding that roll, riding that wave, man.
And it's better to have team camaraderie type of thing going overseas together after a huge win like that than a giant loss. So it is good timing for this road trip for the team.
And not just team camaraderie, based on the win, but the fact that they went as soon as that win was over, and they're spending the whole week together, riding that wave together, building on that confidence that they've just gained together. We have all the tools and everything, and the stars have aligned, in my opinion, to where they need to be for us to get that win.
Yeah.
For us to dominate this game. Plus the smart decision, of course, to alleviate things like jet lag and be ready, as refreshed as you could possibly be traveling overseas for a game. That all of these things, I think, will contribute to a win. Another Broncos.
Wow. So, Johnny, I personally have been super busy, and I haven't had a chance to check lines.
Oh, boy.
For what we're looking at this game. Because, the more I'm stewing on this, the more my brain is switching to, like, holy cow, But this all checks out now that I see this. We are opening a 7.5 point favorite. 7.5. More
When's
than
the last
a
time
touchdown.
When is the last time you saw that for the Denver Broncos?
Like hardly, dude. I maybe once or twice in the last 5 years that we've been like a more than a touchdown favorite going into a game.
Indeed. I'm just saying, dude. That's how confident I have the same confidence going into this game as Vegas does in us for this game. So, I'm hyped. I'm pumped. And real quick before I want to talk a little Avalanche and a little Nuggets before we bounce. But before we do that, did you see where Colin Cowherd placed the Broncos in his herd hierarchy today?
No, ESPN has him at number 9, I believe, on power rankings from today. Where's Colin Cowherd?
Colin Cowherd has us 3.
I mean, that's
I'm just
awesome.
saying, I'm just saying, there was a time when I took anything Colin Cowherd said with a grain of salt, and even then I did not like the guy too much, but I've grown much more fond of him over the past few years, and he straight up said today that these Broncos with Sean Payton at the helm and Bo Nix coming, truly finding his footing, are going to be one of the most dangerous teams the NFL has seen in years. And he was like, he's got us at the 3rd power ranking, and I'm here for that.
It's a special time because I think we are turning a lot of opinions right now, and people are starting to understand that we may not score tons of points, but we are a very high floor NFL team. We are above average.
Even Kyle Brandt changed his tune on the Broncos this week.
Yeah. We're a sound fundamental, trenches, depth. We're just a well-constructed team right now.
Yes, we are. And like you said, our floor is high, and our ceiling, in my opinion, is even higher.
We haven't shown the ceiling a whole lot. There's potential, the great potential argument. But our lows have not been very low. When's the last time we've been blown out of a game?
We haven't in a long time.
It's been a long time.
And somebody made an excellent point, and I'm trying to remember who it was. I believe, actually, it was on Good Morning Football, I believe, if I recall, on Monday morning. And it was Jamie who made the point. And she said, if you look at the Broncos right now, as they stand, and you look at their record, it's not indicative of how they've played this season. She's like, they've led in every game, except for this last one against the Eagles until the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
She was like, and they've only lost, the only 2 they've lost, they lost in the final seconds on a field goal, and one of those was on a technicality. She was like, they should have had those games. They going into the Eagles game, they should have been 4-0. They were that close. And I agree. We've been in every game we've played, and we lost by that much.
And our quality of opponents looked to me a little bit different than I thought. Turns out the Colts are legit. Turns out the Colts are good.
One in the power rankings right now.
I think every NFL predictor preseason was like, well, F me. The Colts are good. They are legit. I think that's actually something to stay. That's not a fluke.
I couldn't believe it. And it is someone was talking about the season of redemption for some of these quarterbacks. How many of them have gone to other places? Daniel Jones. Shoot, the dude sucked in New York.
Danny Dimes is rolling through it right now.
He is the number 1 quarterback in the NFL at the moment.
Yeah, man. He looks comfortable. He looks, slow in not in a bad way, but the game is slow for his processing.
It's that perfect example of somebody who just needed the right situation.
Sam Darnold in Minnesota.
Sam Darnold now with the Seahawks.
Seahawks, he's playing very well, but his whole career turned around in Minnesota.
So, even though it's not necessarily a redemption season for him because he's been there a while, Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay.
Another great example, for sure.
Well, it just shows that when these guys get to the right place for them, some of them, not all of them, not all of them, but when some of them get to the right place, they flourish. And suddenly they're not the laughing stock anymore. Now, Justin Fields, I mean, he's been,
Johnny, let me get your quick opinion. Joe Flacco to the Bengals, does that move your needle at all for Cincinnati as a AFC team? Yeah.
Joe Flacco, that move to me is Joe Flaccid. Like you're trying at this point you're trying to stop the bleeding from a gunshot wound or a Mark Sanchez stab wound with newspaper and Scotch tape. No, not for me. With newspaper and Scotch tape, dude. Like Flacco no.
Yeah, but we saw it, Johnny. Was Jake Browning going to be the guy? Obviously,
no, but
obviously
not. Joe Flacco.
Well, he's better than Jake Browning. I will say that.
Yeah, okay, but it doesn't move the needle enough for me. I mean, honestly, the moment Joe Burrow got hurt, the moment it happened, the Bengals, their general manager sucks. Okay, like in terms of bringing in personnel and drafting, he is awful.
It's far deeper than that. It's ownership. Like the Bengals are.
But look, the moment that Joe Burrow got hurt and was out for a minimum 8 weeks, they should have been on the phone with the Atlanta Falcons, inquiring about Kirk Cousins.
Dude, Kirk's money though. That's the opposite of what Cincinnati does. Look,
yes, exactly.
They're
but if
cheap.
they were intelligent, you and I both know there's always ways around the salary cap. There's always ways around it, and
you could fake remove trees like Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, but the point is like yes, their salary cap was pretty stagnant. It was hard. It was a hard spot, but they could have made it work if they wanted to. And here's the reason why I would have done it. Because the rest of their team, maybe not their defense so much, but that offense, they're in a win right now mode. This is their moment. If they want a Super Bowl in Cincinnati, there is not a better time. After this season, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's
all downhill from here. So they should have been willing to spend whatever it took to sell whoever's firstborn child they needed to get Kirk Cousins in Cincinnati, just to hold it down while they waited for Joe Burrow to report back to the team. This Jake Browning thing that was less than a Band-Aid, and Joe Flacco, like I said, is newspaper and Scotch tape trying to close a bullet wound. It's just not gonna staunch the bleeding, buddy.
I just, in order for Kirk to move, I feel like Atlanta's got to absorb some of his salary, and if they were willing to do that, he would have already been gone. So it doesn't look like they're in any rush to get rid of him. I agree. Michael Penix is their quarterback, and he's legit. Absolutely. I really like him a lot. But man, it's what a weird situation for Cincinnati. And I will say the repercussions, the butterflies effect to this would be Shador is one injury away of Dylan Gabriel from getting his Hall of Fame career started. And here we go. Cannot wait, man.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. Since he got to the NFL, I'm not. My fandom of Shador has started to go down.
Dude,
just
Shador,
the way he acts.
He's always been that way, man. He has always been a pompous rich kid.
I know.
That's the stick. That's the stick.
I think the only reason I was able to look past it before was because he was on the Buffs.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I was able to. Now that he's not on the Buffs anymore, especially, and even when he was on the Buffs, when Prime announced he was retiring his own son's jersey.
Pretty crazy.
That moment, I was like, I'm out.
Ooh, nope.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
But
pretty egregious.
Anyway.
You're right. You're not wrong.
I do want to point out one last fact about the AFC as a whole right now. The state of the AFC, before we get into our last little talks about our other sports real quick. I find it very interesting, the teams that are currently absolutely floundering and decimated by injury. The door has never been more open for us to make our push to the front of the pile.
Dude.
I mean, the Chargers were killing it, and now they've lost both their tackles. Their offensive line is a mess, and they are falling into shambles.
Dude, Hampton being out.
Oh my God!
From what I saw, is going to be like probably 6 weeks. Like they're saying a month, but like it's going to be a little more than that.
No,
and
it's going to be a little more than that.
Najee Harris is already on IR. Like they have nothing in their most needed position out of their scheme. They have to have a running back produce.
And by the time that they're healthy, they'll have the hardest part of their schedule.
They're going to trade for someone. There's no way they continue on the next 5 weeks.
I'm just saying, but you got them. You got the Bengals absolutely floundering. You got the Ravens absolutely just dying.
Yeah, Ravens suck and they're selling. There's a trade today with the Chargers, actually.
All their dudes, all their biggest dudes, every one of them is out. It's an interesting season for injury. The door has never been more open for us to make our push to the front.
It'll be weird to see Baltimore crumble to become sellers at the trade deadline. If they truly are starting to like roll that way. Like there's rumors of Andrews being traded. There's a lot of movement on Baltimore potentially.
Yep, there is. All right, let's get to it real quick before we bounce out, dude. How about them Nuggets? Preseason ball, yes, but still, it's been good to see the additions on the court. DaRon Holmes, it was so good to see DaRon Holmes on the court last night.
He's a shooter.
In his rookie quote unquote year. Cam Johnson and Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas when Joker was sitting. Oh, thing of beauty.
Big Val. Dude, Big Val is going to be the biggest difference maker we have seen on our roster, non-starting five, in the Jokic era. I truly believe he is going to be just an absolute game wrecker.
Game wrecker. Yeah.
Because we can play the same offense on our bench than we do with Jokic. Like he has the ability to be a point center, but in a way different way than Jokic, just a power way. He can bully ball anyone. Big Val is going to be. We're set up for a chip here.
How good was it? Hats off to see Bruce Brown back in the colors he belongs in.
Bruce, Brucey
feels so good.
The Cowboys back, man.
Gioni feels so good. I mean, it was exactly what it was. Seeing Brucey back, man. And hearing what he had to say, that the moment he left, he instantly regretted it, and that he wished he could. He had been just waiting for the moment he could get back, and he's back, baby.
Yep.
I mean, it's so good. Oh, hey, Ty Walden in the house. What up, Ty?
What up there, sir?
How is life? Oh, give me a moment, Jay. I'm gonna pause real quick.
Yep, no problem.
You keep going.
But it is a big deal. Also, a point I want to make sure that doesn't get left on the table here in Nuggets talk is how different Jamal Murray's attitude and forcefulness on the offensive side of the ball is. Dude, Jamal Murray has not been an all-star. We've had the stupid saying of that Jokic hasn't played with an all-star before. Jamal Murray might be set up to just be a dog from start to finish for the first time in his entire career, because he looks like, at least from a preseason standpoint, conditioning-wise, like he actually cares and he's wanting to, grow his physical development in the offseason.
Absolutely.
It's a noticeable thing, at least to me. And I've been watching the Nuggets extensively for the entire Jokic era. So Jamal's different this offseason, man. It's different. But
it's a good different. It's a good different.
Last year you couldn't have been lower on Jamal, and he signs the big contract. No. You saw what he did in the Olympics on Team Canada. He looked like he had no business being on the court.
He looked no business.
Yep. Yeah. But it couldn't be more opposite this offseason. Couldn't be. It's incredible.
Real quick, we'll continue on the Nuggets, but I want to ask Ty, how's it been, buddy, being a Broncos fan living in Philly for the last 3 days?
He went to the game. I would love to know his experience in that stadium, because I've been reading, specifically on Facebook, I've been reading people that went to the game, like in ticket groups, saying like, this was the worst experience I've had in NFL stadiums, and I travel around to our away games.
Our own Taiwan was there, and he said he had to, before the end of the game, he said he was running to get out of there.
Well, Taiwan's just one of many.
People were threatening him.
Yeah. Dude, they're nasty people. Nasty people.
All you gotta hear. The secret is you sneak a cheesesteak in your pants through the gate, and when they start going off at you, you just hold it up in front of them. Like a dog with a steak. Just, they're like, I'm gonna kill you, like cheesesteak. And they're like, and they freeze. And then that's when you make your run for it.
I was gonna say
Ty said he didn't go. He was there 8 years ago, and it was terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's been good for him for not. Good for him for not going.
Anyway, back to the Nuggets. Back to the Nuggets real quick so we can get to the Avalanche real quick. Dude, I am so excited for the prospects of this team coming up this year for the Nuggets. We have never been better. We have never been better set up for a championship run than I think we are right now.
No, it's happening. And Adelman, I think, is a great coach to be able to foster the relationship with Jokic and just allow Jokic to be the pseudo culture setter and leader on that entire organization the way he has been empowered thus far. It's where we got good times coming here for the Nuggets.
Yeah, super excited. Let's talk opening night, baby. It's Avalanche opening night. Avalanche Kings, baby. Puck
probably 20 minutes. 20 minutes from now. Yep.
With the moves they made in this offseason, Jay, how confident are you in our push, the Avalanche push this year?
Well, I mean, we have two huge players that were not active on our roster at this time last year opening night. And I'm talking about Brock Nelson, the 2C, who's going to make a massive impact actually being ingrained in our culture and coaching style in a long-term sense. Like, we only had him for a spot of time last year in the playoff run. Very
small time, yeah.
That guy is going to be massive. And then obviously, dude, you got to bring up obviously the captain, Landy coming.
Landy's back.
Day one. Yeah. Landy's back. Day one.
And he's already thrown gloves. He's already thrown gloves and fists in the preseason, just showing I'm back, baby.
And dude, and those are two players that I was going to highlight that are on the second line. We're not even talking about the best starting five in the NHL. That's a non-starting five, two people.
Kale McCarr, Nathan McKinnon. I mean, it just.
Marty Necas is going to jump off the paper this year as well. Mark it down. Number 88, man.
I'm ready, bud. I'm ready.
It's going to be a wild year, man. And then we get to see the craziness of Brent Burns, of crazy veteran that I never in my wildest dreams imagined that he would be a Colorado Avalanche.
Yep.
Weird. Super weird.
Crazy. I'm so pumped. I'm so ready for it, dude. I'm going to, I think we better get rolling out of here so we can, take a piss, get some beer, and figure out what we're going to eat during the game. Because I know I have to eat during a game.
Yep.
And I think with that, guys, we're going to get ready to roll out of here. It's been a wonderful night talking Broncos with you, and I can't wait to be back with you. Hold on. Ty Walden back in one more time says, just read a stat. Broncos Eagles drew the biggest audience for a single header game in 12 years at 19.6 million viewers. Wow.
Well, if there are NFL script writers on the podcast tonight, take a note of that. We'd be fine with a Super Bowl of that, right? Right, fellas?
Amen.
Let's go. Let's go.
NFL script writers. Guys, hold on. Synergy Media tells us, shows us the cat again.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow. No, woof, woof for me, but it's okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and roll out of here, but we will be back with you next Tuesday. Both Jay and I, though, will be with you for the Get Bug Game Day show and Buck Your Feelings post-game show this Sunday, early in the morning, right before the Broncos take on the Jets in London. It's going to be a blast. If you had not already, or this is your first time watching and you haven't, Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and ding that little notification bell because we are 60 subscribers away from giving a free orange authentic Bo Nix jersey to one subscriber. You want to be a part of that. It's a free jersey. Why not try? All right? Make sure you also check out the audio version of our podcast wherever you find your favorites. We've got a bunch of great shows. That's why you want to ding that notification bell, because Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the morning, we have Orange and Blue Blitz. We have the Broncos Bros on Mondays, on Monday evenings. We go live every Tuesday night on Nothing Rhymes. Doc and JT hold down all Mile High Sports on Wednesdays in the afternoon. Broncos Talk goes live on Wednesday evenings. And for the Spanish speakers, we have an entirely Broncos Spanish podcast on Friday evenings. We've got a breaking news podcast and the Get Buck Game Day show and Buck Your Feelings post-game show every single game day. You don't want to miss any of that action, guys. Thank you for joining us on tonight's episode of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I'm Johnny Baki, the Mile High Viking, joined as always by my cousin and my childhood best friend and co-host, Gay, the Dream Weaver, who's rocking our Avalanche. We're ready to go. We will see you this Sunday for the Get Buck Game Day show. Go Broncos and good night. Oh, and go Avalanche.
Oh yeah, that too. Definitely.
Orange and blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Catching up on all that we knew. Hit play, let the episodes accrue. Nothing rhymes